Do you understand that patience is a virtue in theory, but ultimately, on a daily basis, when it comes to manifesting and seeing your dreams come to full fruition, you're impatient. You want to know what's going to happen and when, and you want to see your hard work paying off. Are you ambitious? Are you very proactive? Are you someone that loves to jump in with both feet when you've got a desire? Do you have that tunnel vision, and do you want to take charge and make things happen as soon as possible? Do you try to get multiple things done at once? Do you find that your impatience actually is starting to block you and get in the way and make you feel like you're taking perhaps one step forward and then 10 back? If that's the case, then not to worry. You've found the right video, and in this video, I'm going to be explaining to you everything you need to know about why patience is actually more powerful and how you can use that waiting period to your advantage and actually manifest better outcomes for you. And if you stay right until the end of the video, I'm going to be doing a very powerful exercise with you which will help you to surrender and help you to not just hand it over, but to actually feel that power right now in the present moment. Now, if you've been studying the law of attraction for quite a while, you would have already heard the metaphor of taking some seeds and putting them in the ground and then waiting for them to spring up and show their full blossom. Everyone has used that metaphor when it comes to the law of attraction, and they liken it to literally that. A manifestation is simply having an idea, having a dream or a desire, and then slowly nurturing it and waiting for it to start appearing on the physical form, right? Something that you can see, hear, smell, touch, and taste. I get how maddening hearing those types of metaphors are. But what is really important to remember and to understand about why patience has power is because it is literally like a baby growing in a womb, or putting a cake or a bun in the oven, if you like, literally when you're baking or cooking a meal. There has to be a waiting period. There has to be a lag time between what you're dreaming and visualizing and putting out there to actually seeing it happen. And this is a good thing. It might feel like it's not a good thing, but trust me, it is, because imagine what would be happening if every thought you had just poof came up right there and then in front of you in the physical form. That would be a problem, right? So that lag time, I want you to start seeing it as an opportunity to really cultivate something within you that is going to serve you well, not just with this particular manifestation that you're working on, but every single aspect of your life, where you can get to know yourself better, get to understand that inner dialogue that is making you feel like, okay, this has to happen now. And if it doesn't happen now, there's a problem. There is no problem. Have you ever had a moment of perfect timing where you've known that you've been in the right place at the right time and you just couldn't have planned it better yourself? So, for example, you've been thinking about meeting up with a friend and you haven't seen this particular friend for a while, and then you walk into a shop and bang, they're standing right there. They turn around and you go, oh my God, hi, how are you? You know, I was thinking about you literally the other day. And then you go and end up having a coffee together and spending the afternoon together. Divine timing when it comes to manifestations, especially the biggest ones that we really have our hearts set on, the loving relationship, the money in the bank, the profitable business, the dream holiday, the amazing fast super shiny car sitting on the driveway, the beautiful family home. Whatever it is, divine timing is always at play. And that is why springtime and seeing flowers coming up, those metaphors are used in regards to manifestations being seeds in the ground and the ideas and the dreams that we're dreaming on a daily basis, simply because the reason it is so important is that there is a lot going on beneath the ground during the winter that we can't see. So I completely get how, when you're visualizing, when you're saying positive affirmations, when you're, you know, practicing EFT or listening to various things like this on YouTube, it can be frustrating. And there is this feeling of, God, nothing is happening, nothing is working, and I'm putting in all this effort and it's not paying off. I can't see any evidence of it. And it is a horrible space to be in, and I totally get it. And it's difficult to surrender. It's really hard to just say, oh, okay, I trust, all is well, and I'm just going to go about my business and not care. But what we're looking for here is not for you to not care. What we're trying to achieve is for that balance of impatience versus eagerness and desire. Because ultimately, that's what impatience is, right? Impatience is this sense of, I'm so eager for this thing that I want, that right now I feel like I can't have. And I want it, and I want it now. I want to experience it now. Well, that eagerness is where the magic lies. And the impatience is what kills it and squashes it, and actually brings that manifestation to a halt, or at least a sort of a delayed speed, because it's the frustration and the energy that you're putting out there is one of, I I want this, but I don't think I can have it because of XYZ. And then you start looking for all the reasons why it's not coming about, and how what you're doing is not working and it's irrelevant. But it's got nothing to do with that. It's a balance between eagerness versus impatience, impatience versus enthusiasm, and a sense of, I really really want this, and oh my god, I'm so excited. That's where your power lies. So it's so important to spend as much time as possible with that vision, with that outcome, and with that feeling of, oh my god, I'm so excited. And see it almost like a dream holiday that you've booked. You've booked it all online, you've got your confirmation, and you've received that spiritual sense of, okay, this is real, because I can feel the idea bubbling within me, and I can feel that desire growing more and more every time I visit that idea and I go there in my mind. So see that as almost like your receipt, your confirmation, your invoice. Okay, it's booked, it's there, it's happening. It's not happening right now, but it's coming. Exactly like a dream holiday. You've booked your flights, you've booked the hotel, you know where you're going, and oh my god, you're so excited. It's exactly the same thing. So spend time with the desire, with the outcome. And if there are arrangements to be made in the meantime, like, I don't know, you want a dream home, you want a huge beautiful house to live in, okay, start looking at those houses online, start even viewing them. Do you know what I mean? Like, the agent doesn't know how much money you've got in your bank account. There's all sorts of stuff that you can make up. I'm not encouraging you to actively lie and lead people up the garden path, but if you want a dream car, if you want a sports car, take that kind of car for a test drive. You don't, there's no commitment that needs to be made there and then, but what it's doing is it's helping you to see that it is real, it is physical, and it's something that you can be doing now to connect and align with more and more, because that is where everything else is going to start speeding up. And the universe, what you have to remember is that when it comes to divine timing, the universe has it all planned. Just like those seeds in the ground, just like a baby in the womb, or a cake that's in the oven that you have to wait, an hour for to bake and to take out. The universe is taking care of all the details. The universe has your request. It knows exactly what you want, and now it's time to let the universe do her magic, basically. So by sitting back in your divine feminine energy, and saying, right, I'm going to be patient and I'm going to allow things to unfold even better than I could possibly imagine. That is where your power lies. And the way to really help you shore up that belief is to think about examples and times of when you have been in the right place at the right time and things have just unfolded perfectly for you without you even giving it any thought. Those little things that you sort of think, oh, wouldn't that be nice if blah blah, and then boom, it happens because you haven't even focused on it. You haven't given it much thought at all. It's just been that tiny little moment in time where you've had that idea and then bang, it's right there in front of you. That is how quick things can happen, even for your biggest of dreams. The only reason we feel so impatient and frustrated about our bigger dreams is because in our mind we believe they're less attainable and harder to get, so we have to put in all this hard work and effort when actually that is exactly what is working against us. It's that manipulating and that maneuvering and that trying to control it. Here is something else to remember about patience. Patience is not just a virtue. Patience is a transformative element that can bring you peace and clarity and calm right now. It can give you a sense of inner peace and a sense of real power, because what you're doing is you're taking a step back and you're saying, okay, what can I control right now? I can control how I feel. And as you know, when it comes to the law of attraction, the only moment is now, and how we're feeling right now is all that matters. That's what we're aligning with, it's what we're putting out there. So in that respect, see it as, okay, I'm either slowing down my manifestation. The worse I feel, the slower my manifestation is. The happier and more light-hearted I feel, the faster my manifestation is taking form. And again, it's not something that you need to keep reminding the universe about by giving the details and writing it down or putting a vision board together or anything like that. If it doesn't feel fun, don't do it. So, when I said before about spending time with the outcome, you only do that if it feels good to do it. You don't do it if it's frustrating you and it feels like a chore. If it's feeling like something that you've got to add to your to do list, don't do it. You're better off focusing on something else completely different altogether. And again, letting divine timing and the universe figure it all out. Again, remember, come back to those experiences you've had where you have done just that with little things, and then boom, they've come up immediately for you and manifested. Another really important aspect to remember about patience, and you can see this very clearly when it comes to relationships and the working environment and business deals, transactions, negotiations. When you are someone who acts and behaves in a confident way that says, do you know what, this is what I want, this is my desire, but I'm not I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket here. I'm actually going to be completely open and receptive as to how this comes about. I've got that confidence within me that what I want is already mine. Yeah. Those types of people have a lot of power and influence in relationships in terms of the dynamics, but also in the working environment, in you know, a business meeting, let's say, or when it comes to negotiations. I'll give you a perfect example with my house buying. For those of you who know me and who've been following my videos for a while now, you'll know that my buying and selling has been it's been going on forever, and it's only through surrendering. If you want to know the full story, check out a video that I did back in January called the power of true surrender, where I talk about the story. But basically, I've had to sort of negotiate quite a bit, and I've recently had to renegotiate because I had a survey done on the property that I purchased. It's a sort of 200-300 euro cottage, and yeah, there was quite a bit wrong with it, so I've had to renegotiate a purchase price. And during that time, I was so like, oh my god, like how the hell can I just sit around and not care and just trust? It's so difficult because my very future, mine and my son's very future, was hanging in the balance in terms of, do we have to end up starting from scratch again because I'm going to have to walk away if the sellers are not willing to come down further because of the cost of the work that needs carrying out, or am I going to be able to proceed? It was a horrible time, and it was a nightmare, and it really pushed my faith to the limit. But I knew that on a practical level, not only was it an opportunity for me to trust and to surrender and to practice patience, but it was also sending a message. The more relaxed and patient I was, the more power and influence it would actually give me in being able to get the price that I wanted. If I was super keen and calling up the agent every day saying, oh, have you heard anything from the sellers? What have they said? What's the update? What do you know what I mean? If I was pressing all the time, it would give off the message that I was willing to just pay for whatever because I was super keen on the property. And it's the same in relationships. Interestingly enough, there is a full moon on Monday, which is the full moon in Libra, and we're on the brink of that kind of leading the way into an eclipse portal. And the last eclipse that we had was 5 months ago. And if you know anything about Libra, Libra is all about love and relationships and romance. So it's possible right now that you're watching this video and it is linked to relationship dynamics and you not being sure what to do. Do you take action? Do you make it known how you feel? Do you sit back and allow yourself to be pursued? Do you play hard to get? Do you set boundaries and walk away? Maybe those are things right now that you're asking, and you're not quite sure what side of the fence that you should be on, especially when it comes to manifesting and the whole process of trusting, right? It's really important in any relationship dynamic to be confident in who you are and be confident in what you're bringing to the table. So, like for example, going back to my buying and selling with my properties, as much as I wanted to make things happen now and know the answer and find out what the final sort of agreed price was going to be and what that would mean for me in terms of proceeding or not, I knew that by sitting back and acting like, yeah, sure, cool, whatever, it is what it is, and if I can't proceed with this property, then I'm going to be looking elsewhere. I knew by giving off that vibe, it would give me more influence and more clout in negotiations. It's exactly the same with relationships. When you meet someone and you start dating, the whole, treat them mean, keep them keen, I don't necessarily agree with that statement. I don't think that there needs to be any meanness involved. But what I do believe is that the more keen you are, the less likely they are to reciprocate and kind of bring their best foot forward in the relationship because you're doing all the hard work, and the chance of that sparkle fizzling out quicker is higher. Why? Because the truth of the matter is that nobody likes desperation, and when you're selling yourself or your ideas or anything really, desperation and selling and confidence, it doesn't all go together. It's one or the other. It's either where do you fall? Do you fall on the confidence side where you're able to sit back and say, yeah, I'm cool, whatever, because I know what I want and I know I'm going to get it one way or another, whether it be through this pathway or that pathway or that person or someone else who's even better. I know my worth, I know what I've got, and I know that I'm going to get what I deserve because I'm worthy of it. Desperation is at the opposite end of the scale. So patience, even if it's not something that you're feeling instinctively, it's a good way of practicing to evolve that confidence and that sense of self-worth within yourself, no matter what the circumstances are. And it also ties in with allowing the universe to orchestrate things on your behalf in a way that are a billion times better. How many times have you rushed into a situation or made a decision and thought, oh my god, shit, why did I do that? If only I'd have waited, if only I'd have just sat back and allowed things to unfold. Or, what about when you perhaps have maybe waited and you followed that intuition and you have just thought, okay, this is really difficult, but I'm gonna sit on my hands literally here, and I'm gonna not do anything. I'm gonna allow things to just naturally unfold and see what the other person or people or whatever it involves. I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna sit back and wait and see. Compare the results of following the intuition and waiting versus rushing in. That expression, angels fear fools rush in where angels fear to tread, that's where that expression comes from, because it's true. If you rush in, you can't rush out again. It's a bit like it's all or nothing. Once you reach that point of no return, it's very difficult to reverse things back and unsay what has been said or undo what has been done. So waiting gives you that time and that clarity to be able to decide, am I really wanting to do this? And it couldn't be truer when it comes to a relationship and love and romance. So in regards to the full moon and what I said about Libra and the portal, with the eclipse coming, the eclipse is the 8th of April, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it's the 8th of April, the next eclipse that we've got. The last eclipse was the end of October. So during that 5-month period, now is a perfect time for you to think, okay, well, what in these 5 months have I learned, have I discovered about myself, or have I really struggled with? Where have I kind of progressed on my journey when it's come to relationships, when it's come to connections and intimacy and boundaries and dynamics and respect and self-expression? What has that 5-month period looked like for me? What have been the highs and the lows? And what would be a really useful thing for you to do, especially during this time on the lead up to the full moon and between the full moon and the eclipse on the 8th of April, is reflect and ask yourself these questions. Use this video, go through it as many times as you need to, and also check out my other video, the Power of True Surrender, and also How to Stop Worrying and Trust the Universe. That one I did in November. The surrender one was done in January. Look at all of these videos and really ask yourself, okay, where am I shooting myself in the foot here? Where can I take a step back, and how can I really use this as a spiritual opportunity for me to make my manifestations even more satisfying and fulfilling? Now is the perfect time to do it astrologically, because you will be supported. And if you're at a crossroads at the moment where there's a lot of crap coming to the surface and it's overwhelming you, and you're impatient and you want to move forward, but you feel like you're being restricted, and you're sort of getting all these blocks coming up mentally, emotionally, physically, with difficult people, difficult situations that you just feel like you're in a dilemma with. It's all coming up for a reason, and you are in the perfect time and space to be able to take a step back and really think, okay, what is the best way forward here? And you'll usually find, and I know what it sounds like, the word patience is not a word that comes easy when you're wanting to make a decision and see things happen. But please trust me when I say it will give you so much more power if you do begin to lean on the aspect of yourself and finding that strength and that satisfaction within right now. It will help you to see things a lot more clearer, and it will help you to have more power in whatever situation it is that you're trying to navigate through. The decisions that you're making, if they are life changing, then sometimes you might not think you can, but it is possible for you to be able to sit back even for a day or two and allow those answers to come to you, to ask for that sign, to let the universe do her thing and show you the way forward, allow the path to be revealed to you, not you having to go and look for it and just crash and burn really as a result from pure exhaustion. So I hear you saying to me, Holly, all of this stuff I've heard before. It sounds brilliant. It sounds so easy when you put it like that, but it's not. It's hard. How can I stay positive? What do I do in the meantime? Literally, what am I supposed to do? Well, I'm going to give you a very powerful exercise to do right now that's going to help you to feel better immediately and give you that sense of power and control in your experience right now. It's going to give you a feeling of creative control. That's the word here really. It's a very good term, and it's an Abraham Hicks expression that I've heard her use many times. Is it gives you a feeling of creative control. The exercise itself that I'm going to do with you is it's an exercise that I actually got from Gabby Bernstein's The Universe Has Your Back. So it's not an original thing that I've come up with, but I am going to improvise and we'll see what happens and what comes up as we go through it. It's a 2-3 minute exercise, and it's done wonders for me in terms of helping me to surrender and get the results that I want a lot quicker than what I would have otherwise, and the way I was doing it before, the hard way. So if you just like to close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Just take a minute to remind yourself that these next few minutes are all about you coming back to you, stepping back into your power. Patience isn't about giving up, it's not about letting go of your desire. It's all about actually stepping into that place of power where you don't even need to lift a finger, because everything you have is already within you. The wisdom, the knowledge, the intuition, the insight, the clarity, the peace, the happiness and the love. I'd like you to visualize your impatience and the problem, the obstacles that you consider to be blocking your manifestation from coming into its full form. And I'd like you to visualize a basket or a wheelbarrow or something that you can literally pick up these obstacles, these blocks, these problems, and put them into that basket, that wheelbarrow, whatever it is, a container, a box. And allow it to be taken from you now. See yourself holding that particular item containing all of those problems, all of those obstacles, and see yourself handing it over, giving it to God, the universe, your angels, and see it being taken from you and lifted out, up into the heavens above and going. And see yourself surrendering all of it. Just letting it all move away from you and dissipate, distance itself further and further to the point that you can't even see it. And I'd like you now to do exactly the same with your desire. Spend a few moments with that outcome, with that dream. And do exactly the same thing that you just did with the problems and the obstacles. Hand it all over. But this time, you're not handing it over, as in letting it go. You're presenting it as a gift to the universe and saying, this is my dream, this is my precious, beautiful idea that's wrapped with love. This vision that I hold for myself and for my family, for those that I love and care about, this desire that I would share with them and they would be able to bask in the benefits of coming to fruition. I'm handing this over to you in its entirety, because I know that you're going to be giving it back to me in an even better, more luxurious, loving form that is even greater than I could possibly imagine, beyond my wildest of dreams and hopes. I'm letting it all go. And I'm placing it in your capable hands. Because all the problems and the obstacles, they've gone now, they've been transmuted entirely. And you'll probably feel that relief in your shoulders, in your neck, in your whole body. You'll feel that relief and that shift of that load being taken from you. But now you're doing the same with your desire, but the difference is that this desire is coming back to you in an even better form. It's being transmuted into something even more amazing. But the feeling of it is good, and it's better. It's better than what you even asked for in the first place. And it's only a matter of time, because it's already yours by divine right. And it's coming back to you. It's just having a few magical touches and details added to it beforehand. Some extra gift wrapping. So I want you to just spend a few minutes connecting with that, the power of that, and the excitement to know that it's all being taken care of. Those details and those little wrinkles are being ironed out and removed. Now, if you wish, you can continue to stay there and feel that feeling if it feels good, and as long as you need to. You can press pause on this video now and continue, or if you're ready, you can take a deep breath, wiggle your fingers and your toes Come back to the room and gently open your eyes. That is something that you can do whenever you want to. I did it once at the end of November, and within 24 hours of doing that exact exercise, which we just did together, I sold my house. I sold my property. I'd been all year running around trying to make things happen, trying to basically maneuver things the hard way, which was exhausting me and it was exceptionally stressful. But after doing that and surrendering everything, literally everything, and just saying, God, have it all, have the lot of it. I'm trusting you. I know it's going to come back even better, but you're in charge now. My way is not working. Within 24 hours, I had an offer. The asking price that I'd wanted for my property, I had it, and my property was sold. It was under offer, and it was so quick. Even I was stunned. But as I mentioned, that story, the whole story of that, and then me finding my new home is in The Power of True Surrender. So go ahead and watch that video. I'm going to wrap up today's video with an affirmation card that I would like you to take away with you today and use it whenever you start to feel that impatience arising and bubbling within you and starting to, do its damage with making you feel like you're sort of in a headlock and you can't really make any progress because you just don't know what to do and you're feeling paralyzed by the circumstances you're currently in. So while I'm shuffling, just take a breath. Go back to that exercise in your mind that we just did, of that feeling of surrender and release and relief, all that pressure being taken from you. And just be open and receptive now to whatever card I pull, and trust that it's the card for you and it's the words that you need to hear right now that are going to help you and give you something to cling to during this interim, this time between your trusting and your patience and your manifestation evolving and coming back more brilliantly than you could ever have imagined. I am flexible and flowing. So that's the card there. And it says on the back, I am open to the new and changing. Every moment presents a wonderful new opportunity to become more of who I am. I flow with life easily and effortlessly. That's beautiful. And I think it's spot on when it comes to what we've been talking about with why patience is power. There is only now. We only have right now to work with and to feel and think from. So the more flexible and the more flowing we are, like if you imagine a river, just going literally with the flow, following the twists and the turns and allowing, that the better it is, the easier it is. And I'm sure from doing that exercise we did just a moment ago, you're feeling that sense of peace and that sense of strength. It's not, surrender and patience and trust. It's not about being weak or being lazy or being complacent. It's actually understanding that we've got everything we need already right within us in terms of the feelings that we're looking for and hoping to achieve by having the physical manifestations. We can tap into that and access it right now. And when we have that discipline and that focus, it comes to us on the physical form in whatever way we're asking for it to show up. Whether it be like me with my house and the selling and the buying, or you with a relationship perhaps right now and you're not quite sure what to do and how to proceed with that, money, there's 1,001 examples, but in every single case, being flexible and flowing is going to give you so much more power in terms of the dynamics and the message that you're sending to the other person or people involved. And just within yourself as well, it's going to help you to cultivate that sense of I am worthy, I am good enough, and what I want is coming to me, so I don't need to stress about it because I know that the universe has got my back and that God has got this. His plan is greater, and whatever comes to fruition is going to be bigger and better and brighter than I could have possibly imagined for myself. And it's going to also overcome and have already eradicated those little problems that might have been there otherwise, that would have come about and repeated themselves if I'd have been in full control driving that steering wheel, So today's been quite a long video. I hope it's helped, but please do let me know in the comments below any examples of where you yourself have been in the right place at the right time and you've experienced divine timing in a first-hand context, because I think the more we talk about those sorts of experiences, it's really going to help us to connect and bring all of this together, all of these teachings in a practical sense, where we can say, yeah, you know what, that is real, that's true, I felt that, I've experienced it before. So I encourage you now to share with me your own story of divine timing and how you can use that example to give you the momentum and the confidence you need to apply everything that we've spoken about in today's video and give you that power in patience and during the waiting period between now and your manifestation coming to be. Okay, you might also be interested as well in my law of attraction miracle process, which I have now relaunched. I'm super excited about it. It's a 14-day process which helps you to reconnect with your inner child and turn the manifestation process into more of a game. So the 14-day process itself is a daily practice which you go through in the morning and in the evening, and it basically helps you to not only gather that momentum and the concept of the desire, but it helps you to step into more of a fun, playful energy and see physical evidence of your manifestation come into be, understanding the signs and what they are, what they look like, and actually see how you are better at manifesting than what you are probably already aware of. It focuses on appreciation, and it also comes with one powerful meditation which focuses on the law of attraction, the miracle process itself, and the daily practice. But then it also comes with 2 bonus audios, one which focuses on money and the other which focuses on relationships. So whatever your circumstances are right now, it will help you to connect with that particular issue and to help you retrain the way you're seeing it and perceiving it via your inner child, by looking at your inner child, connecting with your inner child, and addressing all of those little bugaboos that perhaps have been holding you up, negative beliefs that might have been plaguing you and making you feel like, oh my god, this is not going to happen because it's never happened before, and insecurity and doubt has just been at the forefront of your mind and overshadowing that manifestation. It's a child's play way of manifesting, and it is a very, very powerful one. It's something that all the top therapists stand by when it comes to transformational thinking and feeling and behaving. I hope today's video has helped you. Until next time, take care, lots of love, and I will speak with you very soon.